Well, that didn't go exactly how I expected it to go. I paused the recording, at least I thought that's what I did, to go into Google Map to turn her volume down because she kept telling me to turn right, turn left, and all of that. And I'm like, I'm not listening to you, Google Maps, so stop. So I've just turned her volume down, so she shouldn't be interrupting me. I'm sticking to my route, and that's that. I'm not turning left or right because there's heavy traffic. So yeah.
There's 7-minute congestion in 100 meters.
I thought I turned her down. That is fine. I will deal with the 7 minutes of congestion. Okay? Alright. So, what was I saying? I didn't want to come. Okay. That's been said. You understand what I meant. So, so I'm glad I came to the country, or one of the countries I wanted to visit, and I've been fortunate enough to visit a few of the countries that I've wanted to visit. No, I'm not letting you go in front of me. I've had the chance to visit Ireland, and that was on my list. Germany, that was on my list. I wouldn't say a huge German football fan, because I'm not really watching it, especially since I've been living in Japan. Very hard to get football games on TV, but I'm not getting cable. So yeah, I've been fortunate enough to visit 3 of the countries I've wanted to visit. Of course, I'm in Japan, Germany, Italy, and Ireland. Ireland was one of my, second to Japan. Maybe they even would replace each other back and forth. So I've been happy to do that. So why or what do I like about Japan? It is, let's start with the aesthetics. Of course, where I live, you don't see a lot of traditional Japanese buildings. They're being replaced. Not even sure they're that safe during an earthquake, because the Noto earthquake we had 2 months ago, or a month and a half ago. I can't believe it's just been about a month. You saw some of these traditional buildings, the roofs were intact, but the base pretty much collapsed on some of them, not all of them. But they are unstable, so people aren't living in them because, next earthquake would definitely collapse. And it's like the roof in some cases, the roofs have just fallen, boom. They're intact, mostly intact, and the rest of the place is just, yeah. So when I look at them, they're beautiful, but I'm not quite sure, unless people are reinforcing it, updating the building, so that it's up to standard. I'm not sure how safe they are, but a lot of the buildings here are earthquake safe. They have to be, because we are in the, what you call, the ring of fire in Japan. Now that's the one thing I do not like about Japan, earthquakes. But there's always something, right? In every country or region, there's something. Like in Jamaica, we don't have these scary natural disasters. Of course, you get hurricanes, and those are scary, but it depends on where you live, what kind of house you live in. And my family lives in a concrete structure, so the hurricanes aren't a problem. But if we get earthquakes, I'd be worried, because that's concrete, roof and all. But what we have that Japan doesn't have is high crime, or higher crimes. So there's that, I'm like, there's going to be something. We may not have the natural disasters and stuff that Japan has that I find scary, but we have crime. And depending on your country, you know what I mean. You might have lots of crimes in your country. So we have that in Jamaica. Now, not everybody's like cowering, because of crime in Jamaica, and that hasn't been my case, but it exists. So there's that risk, but I don't like the earthquakes. I'd rather a typhoon or a hurricane anytime, in the case of a natural disaster, over earthquake. Because earthquakes are like, you get a few seconds of warnings. That's what you have, that option in Japan. Not even an option, it's there on your phone. You get a warning a few seconds before the earthquake hits your area. And the warning itself is jarring. When I hear that alert, man, It just does something to you. It goes deep into you. It's like, um, now usually I have two types of alarms on my phone. Well, I get three. I have access to three types. The one I downloaded, which is Urukure, and Urukuru, I don't remember. Anyway, that one I set it at level 3. So if the earthquake is level 3 and higher, I get an alert. So usually when it goes off, I check what level is it. If it's a 3, I don't go into panic mode yet. I kind of wait to see, is it going to go up. But I usually have a go bag or an emergency bag by my door, and so you kind of have to be ready. When I was in Fukui, when the alert went off, I was chatting with some friends and the alert went off. And I checked my phone. I said, "Oh, there's an earthquake." I know they're chatting with my friends, but the alert kept going off. It wouldn't stop, you know. And I was like, "Okay, it's not stopping." And it just kept going off. And then I saw a tsunami warning also, and I was like, "Okay." I said to my friends, "I think I gotta go." So I turned it off, and I grabbed my phone. Listen, since living in Japan, my phone is with me everywhere. I go to the bathroom, usually my phone is near the bathroom. So if I have to jump out, grab something and run, I need my phone with me. That's my means of communication and being informed, especially with English. I have some English stuff on my phone to help me understand what's going on. Because believe me, even if you are familiar with the language, there's nothing more reassuring than knowing exactly what's happening in your own language. Okay, this is 6 minutes already. Oh wow, 7 rather. So anyway, so yeah, earthquakes are scary. I have not gotten used to those. They're terrifying actually, especially if it's a big one. You're like, oh god. I don't want to die, but the idea, just the running itself is putting me in panic mode. Speaking of which, I got an alert 3 weeks ago. I was getting ready for work, dressed and fully dressed. Was putting on my eyebrows, because I don't have eyebrows. And I was about to put on my eyebrows, my alert went off. I was like, but it was different. It wasn't my usual level 3 alert. Well, you know why I didn't get the level 3 alert? Because it was level 1. But I got this alert and that sounded really loud. It was on my TV, on my phone. And so I was like, this feels different. So I grabbed my phone, left my emergency bag. I don't know why. I think I was thinking to myself, this doesn't feel like the normal one. Because I was in my room for a while. I was like, should I go out? And I said, you know what, let me just go out. Because I don't know what it is. Let's just go. I ran down the stairs and I started hearing it in the building, so I knew my neighbors were getting it. I was the only one who was outside standing, waiting to see what was going on, and I stood there for a while, and then I realized, okay, and I checked my phone, I realized, oh, it wasn't even level 3, it was level 1. It was a general alert, because in Noto, again, they had another earthquake, and let me tell you, where I lived in Fukui was about almost 4 hours drive. Noto is farther away. So I would say it's probably about 5 hours drive from Noto to where I live. And even beyond that, they got an alert because my friends in another prefecture, when I messaged them, they got the alert. So it was really wide. So an earthquake in one part of Japan can affect way over another side. Like if you're driving, it would be like almost a 6 hours drive away, and you could still feel the effect of it, even if it's level 1. It might be a tiny little, shake. Anyway, we're at 9 minutes. You know what? Let's cut this and answer the question. What do I like about Japan?